begins with the man who has an enormous target on his back. The apex predator has become the hunted.
Please welcome the WWE Champion, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton!
I could not have said it better myself, Tom. What approaches the ring is Randy Orton, a man who is an apex predator, and indeed tonight he finds himself the hunted. He finds himself firmly in the sights of men like Drew McIntyre, the resurgent former champion. People like The Fiend, who firmly have their sights on Randy Orton. But more importantly than that, The Miz and Morrison wait the wink to take their shot at Randy Orton. This is a marked man, Tom.
And there's that situation, of course, Joe, but let's talk about what happens 2 weeks from Sunday. Streaming live on the WWE Network, the Survivor Series pay-per-view event, where the best of the best compete. If Randy Orton is still champion by the time we get to Survivor Series, it'll be WWE Champion versus Universal Champion Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns.
This match is as headlining and as marquee gets, and if it holds, I cannot wait for Orton and Reigns at Survivor Series.
But Joe, as you just outlined, the number of threats looking at Randy Orton, looking to capture his championship, how does Randy Orton perceive?
Randy Orton perceives by keeping an eye on his back and making sure that nobody's sneaking up on him out here. Randy Orton knows what he needs to do. Now he needs to remain champion and be confident in what his ability to terrorize his competition.
You talk about that confidence, Joe. That's exactly what we've seen thus far from Randy Orton, who seems unrattled despite all the threats, all the superstars who want a piece of the WWE Champion.
As we saw last week in the moment of bliss, Randy Orton has, throughout his career, thrived in the chaos. Randy Orton seemed like he was prepared for The Fiend, but then attacked by Drew McIntyre, and ultimately, The Fiend nearly got a hold of the WWE Champion.
And it's such an eerie scene when you talk about The Fiend. Anytime The Fiend's presence is near you. But Randy Orton, in the back of his mind, has got to be thinking, how do I fend off The Fiend? How do I fend off Drew McIntyre? How do I fend off perhaps The Miz and Morrison?
Voices in my head, they count to me, they understand, they talk to me.